Hi, I'm Steve, the Introverted Traveler. I've made it my mission in life to explore the beaches, deserts, mountains, and even cityscapes around us, and to do so while avoiding contact with as many people as possible. And although I will never hang out with you for any reason, I do invite you to join me on my journey. Come and see the world through the eyes of an extreme introvert. On this edition, we are exploring the Valley Vista Trail in the Berryessa Snow Mountain National Monument of Northern California. Along the way, we will see beautiful views, wildflowers, and decaying, dangerous trails that all trails claims are fit to hike on. This and much more on this Introverted Travels. Greetings once again. We are out on another adventure, and I just climbed up a slight hill, so I'm out of breath. Today, the Valley Vista Trail off of Highway 16 here in Northern California, up near the Cache Creek Wilderness and in the Berryessa Snow Mountain National Monument. We are on a trail that's a little around 5 miles. I was gonna say a little under 5 miles, but that's what All Trail says, so over 5 miles. And one other car in the parking lot. This is probably not gonna be a trail that has a lot of people on it, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna complain about today. I'm sure I'll find something, because I always do. I mean, there's lots of weeds out here. They're not as pretty as the flowers. There could possibly be people. I mean, that's an easy one. We'll see. We'll see. But we're out here on another adventure. It's the day after a storm, so that also may be keeping people away, and I cannot speak. And we're gonna check it out. Check this out. We're out here in the hills and mountains, and we're gonna go exploring. Wow. Thank goodness for rotting looking trail signs, because if it wasn't for rotting looking trail signs, I would feel like I'm in a completely different world. Let's check this out. I'm only half a mile in. Obviously, by the over enthusiastic panting, it's been uphill, and that's okay. I actually really only do mostly difficult hikes now. I have gotten to the point in my athleticism, I don't know, is walking and complaining an athletic event? I don't know. So I've gotten to the point where easy hikes there's no reason to do them, they're boring. Moderate hikes are hit and miss of whether or not they're gonna be hard enough. And then even hard hikes, of course on all trails, sometimes they're labeled hard and they're easy, and sometimes All Trails just sucks. But we won't go into that today, because All Trails knows it sucks. And frankly, it's probably suffering from low self-esteem, because frankly, it can't do anything right. But this one has lived up to the rating, at least in the first half mile. And looks like probably gonna live up to that, at least for half the hike, because this is mostly uphill. We're gonna keep going, but I think the theme of today's hike is going to be views. So if we look down there, there's this little town in the distance. That's where the casino area is. And then we have the river. And of course, me being as prepared as I always am, I have no idea what that river's called. I know generally the area, but I know I know we're in Northern California. That much I do know. I know we're on planet Earth, and I know we're in the United States of America. Hopefully that will be enough detail for all of you out there. Well, that's descriptive. We can go either right or left, and there's hiking in either direction. It doesn't tell you where you're going, just either that way or that way. And of course, I have my All Trails map, but in a lot of ways, that sign might be more useful. That tells you a lot about All Trails. Let's go. All right, fairness where fairness is due. That sign, which we can't see from here, this sign right here, yeah, that sign, the one I was just making fun of, apparently this is where it loops. So you can see on the map, you can go either this way or that way, so you can go either way. It goes in a big loop, and it meets up again at the top, and you go straight to the peak, and then you come back. So, okay, we're gonna take this trail, because this will probably get us some cool scenic views, and then we'll do the other part of the trail on the way back. All is harmonized, all is good. Okay, so there's some trails that are called make your own adventure trails. Those are trails when there's literally no trail. Usually those are like class 3 hikes where you're just rock scrambling. Or maybe there's a whole bunch of different trails that either one you choose is, you know, take you in the direction you want to go. But you get, you know, choices. Then there's well-groomed trails. There's, you know, properly prepared trails. There's roads that are used as trails and so forth. In this particular case, this is just an overgrown, wild mess of a trail. And of course, All Trails is like, take this route. This route's wonderful. Yeah, this route, first of all, is only like a foot wide. That's the other side of it. There you go. Plus, it's overgrown. Of course, it's spring. And, you know, that's not All Trails' fault. But the fact that, you know, All Trails sucks, that's All Trails' fault. But this is a very narrow trail here, and I have to navigate very, very carefully because unlike those hikers that are 5'7" and 115, 120, 150, whatever pounds, I'm 6'3", around, and not 150 pounds. My center of balance is a little bit different, and so I'm going to go very gracefully, very slowly, trying very, very hard not to freaking die. Well, I just screamed like a 10-year-old boy because an alligator lizard came running out of the bushes. Can you imagine being a serious hiker, you know, with all your REI gear, you know, your expensive granola, and you're athletic, you're at the top of your game. You decide to come out here, do some serious hiking. You're rugged, you got your cameras on, you're showing everyone, you know, how fit you are. You're showing everybody, you know, you're a top athlete. You can do this massively cool trail that's in the wild, and it's rough and it's dangerous and there's weeds everywhere. And yeah, you're the man or woman in this scenario. You're the athlete, you're cool. And then some tall, fat, bumbling asshole with a GoPro and a bald head is screaming like a little child because there's a lizard bumbling his way down the same trail that you just, you know, powered through. Practically falling over himself. Could very well fall down this hill at some point because I have a history of that. I must be quite the embarrassment. I mean, I admit, I'm probably an embarrassment, but you know what? I'm doing the exact same thing with my body and my abilities that Mr. or Mrs., you know, fit REI, you know, expensive granola person is doing. Not to say that I'm not fit, I'm great, but yeah, I just don't do it in style. I don't do it in class. I do it in bumbling idiocy, and I'm good at it. All right, so we have a bench that has been built for this beautiful scenic view of Highway 16 going through the Well, the Cache Creek Wilderness. And look at this. I mean, this alone was worth coming up here. This is awesome, and this is just one side of the trail. The other part of the trail, when we get to the peak and come back, it will take us on the other side of this mountain. But, you know, aside from the trail of death that's overgrown and trying to kill me, totally worth it. There's the river down there. No idea what river that is. There's a car. No idea what type of car that is. There's a bridge. No idea how the bridge was made. And of course the road. I know it's made of asphalt. And of course the beautiful mountains. And this is just, well, it was worth it to come out here on a Sunday morning. Okay, we call this type of trail an all trail special. Oh, it's not hard. You know, if you fall, you'll bounce. All trails, you are a horror show. Ah, crap, I knew it was too good to be true. I see people up there. I'm hearing mundane conversations. Hang on, I may sneeze. Well, there goes the solitude. Yeah. All right, well, I knew I'd find something to complain about. I told you I would. I mean, it was either the trail of death or the trail of people, and, you know, I kind of complained about both. So there you go. There's your video, folks. Look at the views. Isn't that spectacular? We are almost to the end of the All Trails map. It has been a good, at least a half a mile or 3/4 of a mile, just pretty much uphill. So I'm sweaty and out of breath, but looks like it ends right over here. So let's try it. Got to go up a little bit of a hill here, a little final piece. But yeah, this has been the last part you wouldn't think, because it's not super steep, but it's just relentless. It's, you know, it's only half a mile, maybe a little bit more. I don't know, maybe a mile, I have no idea. But still, you're climbing, you're getting these awesome views, you're climbing again. Let's see what's up here. This should be it. I think this is the very top of the peak it's trying to get us to. So here we go. I'll talk you through it. I am putting one foot in front of the other and walking. That's typically how you do a hike. And yeah, let's see what we got up here. Well, that's pretty cool. Okay. Yes, this is good. This is good. All right. Now I see where we had to go to the top. And here we go, folks. The end of the map. The end of the hike. Well, the turnaround point at least. Let's do a 360. We'll walk all the way around here. Show you how pretty it is. Remember, we are out in a national monument, and national monuments, for better or for worse, are usually very beautiful, and it's very beautiful out here. All right, we are headed back very slowly, very, very, very slowly. Remember, I am the turtle. I am calm, and I am very slow. All right, it looks Like, we have made it back to the most useful signs in the world, telling us basically that we can go any direction we want. We can go straight, we can go left, or if you really want to be adventurous, you can jump off the cliff. Don't do that. If we go that way, that's the way we came. That's the back crap insane trail that is overgrown and very small, and that I could have died on, I don't know, 5,000-6,000 times. So we were going to do the other side of the Old Trails trail, which looks like it's going to go uphill a little bit, but that's the other side of the mountain. So it does a little bit of a loop. That way was where we went. That was to the peak. Now we're gonna go back. Yes, I'm on the trail. I'm on the world's, I'm basically in a bush, but I'm on a trail at the same time. It's like a quantum physics thing or something. It's both a trail and a bush. At least there's no bees in here with me, at least at the moment. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can see that. My car is way down there. I can see where I parked. A car just pulled out. It looks like there's more hikers out here than there were evidently from the beginning. There's another one moving. It looks like a truck. So yeah, there are people out here. They're just few and far between. I mean, I've seen 2 people this entire time, but apparently, you know, there's more people at the trailhead. It looks like they're all leaving now. They know I'm coming. They're scattering. They don't want to hear me complain. But yeah, I see my car. It's hidden in the trees down there, but I see that gray little thing. While I wind my way down the mountain here, I figured it was probably time, since I haven't done it yet. Let's see if I can get you out of the sun. There we go. It is probably time for us to do our trail rating and our misery index. So let's start with the trail rating. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being Antarctica in the middle of a field, which is the best thing ever for introverts like me, you know, the antisocial, basically psychotic kind. No one around for miles and miles and miles. Quiet, not a single person in sight, because humans are awful. To a 1, which is the worst. It's Disneyland, the 4th of July. There's kids screaming, there's people there, they're staring at you, there's noises, there's no solitude. That's hell. So on that scale of hell to heaven, this is about a 9. It's, you know, as I said, there's no trail that can be a 10 really, because unless I'm in Antarctica. If I go hiking in Antarctica, yeah, we'll give it a 10. But this is close. I mean, I've seen 3 people. Yes, that's 3 people too many, but it's at least only 3 this time, as opposed to 30 or 40 as I usually see. So on that way, this trail's been great. It is a strenuous trail. I have taken quite a while to do it, because we know I'm slow, but I haven't had any company. I haven't had, oh, very little. And it's been wonderful. So that leads us to the misery index, scale of 1 to 5, 1 being not miserable at all, which I never reach because I'm always to some degree or another miserable, and 5, which is total misery, and I'm usually at probably about a 25, but on a 1 to 5 scale, I'm about a 2, just because that's pretty much my baseline. So, in conclusion, we're not that miserable out here. There's hardly anybody out here. It's a beautiful trail. It does keep going and going and going, and you know, if you don't have the patience for that, then yeah, but you get some great views. You are by Highway 16, but it's like being out here by yourself for the most part. So definitely worth checking out. All right, folks, we are just about back to my car. I have a little ways left to go, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it an end to the video because you've already seen this part that I'm hiking now. It's the very, very beginning. And I'm gonna break out my tripod and we're gonna do some flower photography. For those of you who don't know that I do flower photography, I do macro photography. So I do bugs and flowers, and I do some landscape photography too. You can follow me on Instagram. It's introverted.travels. And you'll get little reel videos that I already post here as shorts. And you'll see a lot of photography as well. I do a daily update, so yeah. So now that I've dragged my butt out here into the wilderness, I'm gonna get some photography done. But as I said, we're almost done. So let's go ahead and recap today's hike. We were out here in the Berryessa Snow Mountain National Monument up Highway 16, kind of in the middle of nowhere. And that's great that we're in the middle of nowhere because there's nobody here. So we've seen a total of 3 people today. That is the best that I've ever had as far as hiking. Even the Pacific Crest Trail, when I did that one, when I went over the Bridge of the Gods, there were a lot of people in the cars, but there were people on that trail. There's hardly anybody here today. It's been heaven, it's been wonderful. But the trail was also a holy terror. So we saw sheer cliffs, we saw cool geology, we saw the river, we saw great views, we hardly saw any people, we saw a ton of wildflowers, and we saw me about as close to happiness as I can ever get. But you know what time it is. It's time for us to say, stay introverted. And I'll see you in the next adventure.